This podcast contains strong language and adult themes from the outset.
Finding the funny. Finding the funny. With Ruth and Ash. Finding the funny.
This week we are incredibly excited, aren't we, Ange?
Yes.
To firstly be in person, which is exciting in
This
itself.
is our second in person.
But
Get in.
we have some amazing guests. So
do.
I found Ash and Chels live stories. You can find them on Instagram, probably at the beginning of the year. And then I watched Ashley try on clothes. If you've never done that, if you've never watched Ash try on an In the Style haul, you've got to go over and find it. Ash and Chels are exceptionally great on Instagram. They're very funny. Chelsea is a phenomenal barber. I'm excited to talk to you after this about hair powder, because that stuff is legit hair powder. So, can we give it up in a massive Find the Funny way for Ash and Chels?
Yay!
Clapping myself. Yay!
Give yourself a clap. Give yourself a clap.
We're so grateful that you're here. I fangirled over you two.
She did.
For a really
I see you looked at Ash when you said that.
Yes. She's
It's
very much got a
it's
crush.
because I fangirl more over you, Chelsea. I feel like I've got to direct it.
Right.
Of course,
Whereas
I
I
will
think
get
I'm really-
violent.
I know that she's very protective of you. And so if I directed that at you, I know that she'd drop kick me.
That's true. Yeah.
Straight out.
Flying.
Understood.
I've obviously just recently gotten to know Ash
Rude.
and Chels.
Yeah, really, actually rude.
Apologies.
Don't
for
know
that,
what I
guys.
hear,
I
to
do
be honest.
apologise.
Can you name their kids? I can. Oscar and Ava. If you're listening, hi, shout
And
out.
we've just spoken about it. I thought we were friends.
No.
Yeah.
I was actually going to call one of your children Warren.
Wow.
I don't know where Warren.
Wow.
Oscar and Ava.
That just came to me then, Warren. But obviously I'm
Too
wrong.
long.
Yeah,
Too
too
long.
long, Warren.
Yeah.
But yes, you are
One
new to
syllable.
me, and I'm sorry that I'm new to the Ash and Chels / Biggs world.
Yeah.
You need to explain the bigs. You've got
right.
to explain bigs.
Okay, so we as Pat said earlier, we are in person
believe
IRL recordings.
Can't believe it.
In the Warner Brothers.
Studio.
I
Studio.
don't think I felt more professional in my life. than I do
I still
right
don't
now.
feel very professional,
No,
actually.
that's Anyway, so in walked Ash and Chels. Now,
Oh my God.
Patty's
I lost my
already
shit.
told me.
Lost my shit.
Patty's already told me about Ash and Chels,
Yeah.
and then went on to tell me that actually Chels actually likes to be known as Biggie Barber.
Biggie
because you are
Barber.
a barber.
Thank you.
And very quickly, I felt very comfortable
This is
calling
the worst
Biggie
podcast
Biggs.
for me because I'm not even laughing loud. I'm just, I'm literally just sat here silently vibrating.
Just
like,
a reminder, nobody can see you.
I know.
I thought we were being recorded.
Yeah, we are as well. Yes, we are as well. But I just felt very instantly very warmed to Biggs.
Biggs.
And I think for the purposes of today, I'm going to just call you Biggs.
Thank you.
Is that right,
Biggs.
Biggs?
Finally.
I like that
Yes.
you've shortened the nickname
Yeah.
that no one uses.
You've given the nickname a nickname.
I very
happy with
quickly
it.
Yeah.
give people nicknames.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like Biggie very quickly
Yeah.
became Biggs.
Yeah. She could have done with you 5 years ago when she was trying to make it happen, to be honest.
We can still do this, Biggs.
I'm in. I'll give it everything.
Your barbering, though, in all honesty, Chelsea, is phenomenal.
Yeah,
I just feel like we should big that up a little bit.
Thank
because
you.
Biggie Barber.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I watch your videos on Instagram and I look at the skin fades that
Fadesy
you do,
fades.
oh my God, you've got to take Joel to Biggie.
Oh.
Did you see the video I posted yesterday?
Yes.
No.
You are shit up. I love you, Biggs. I ain't watched none of your stuff.
Yeah, I
Boring.
didn't even know you were a barber. I haven't seen any of your skin fades.
It's what comes up in it. I mean, it's what
Yeah,
comes
well,
up
when
in
you-
search.
I'm with you. I'm like that.
Do you follow her?
Do you follow Biggie Barber? Bet you don't.
I don't know.
We know you don't because we checked.
I checked this morning. Although, to be fair, I only followed you this morning.
Exactly,
So,
Biggs.
reciprocate.
I think Ash and Chels as a combo only followed me yesterday.
Yeah. See? Oh, you noticed that?
I don't
Yeah.
think you'd be coming at me.
Yeah, but Ange, they've got 220,000 followers.
Doesn't matter.
270.
277. Oh, 277. Not that it was counting.
You should follow Biggie though. You should definitely take Joel.
Her thing yesterday was unreal. Like,
Unreal.
she sends me videos all the time, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, all right, skin fade. But I'm
Oh
joking.
my
No,
God.
she's very good.
Very
But
good.
yesterday she done like a pattern. It was
So
but
good.
it weren't just a pattern. It was like the best pattern.
Intricate.
I was watching it and I was like, just watching it like this, and then all of a sudden my mouth actually just went.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good.
So good.
I mean,
So
I'm
good.
straight on there,
Guys.
Biggs.
Yeah,
I'm
you've
straight
got to get on there for bits.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, we'd love to talk barbering, but we're not here
Okay, then,
to
let's
talk
do it.
about barbering.
All day.
So we always start. We have. This is just stupid fun. You can have as much fun with us as you want. You can take the piss out of us. We'll take it right back.
Yeah.
We don't take ourselves too seriously, but we had loads of questions for you. I know how popular you two are
Wow.
on Instagram, and I sifted through. Do you know the most popular question was, can Chelsea give us a rendition of Jesus If You're Here? So if
Yeah.
nobody knows this, there is a brilliant video on Ash and Chelsea's Instagram of Chelsea on a really hot day.
It was not even just a really hot day. It was so
Yes.
hot. It was like, you know, the UK is like 2 hot days a year, and they're so hot you can't breathe.
Yeah.
It was like that, and we were just.
So what? I don't know this
Okay,
story.
so it's Biggs is going to sing it for us.
Right, but
Oh, wow.
why did you sing it? Why
I
have
was
you
so we were at this hotel and we were waiting to go out on a day trip or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Mike slippage.
Mike's slipping.
and I am boiling.
Yeah.
And I sometimes just sing anywhere, I sing a song or and I just started clicking and it just came out.
And it
Nice.
went into,
I like it.
It went into.
Jesus, if you're here, knock us with your breath.
Knock us with your what?
Breathe.
But she did the whole.
No, because she was
Yeah,
singing
it was.
that. Not
It was
doing a
very
lean
good.
back.
Doing a lean
Very
back.
good.
But
yeah.
then later on we went to the beach. I don't know if we actually recorded this. We went to the beach and we was hit by some
breeze.
force. I was like, Jesus, we know you're here.
You've not.
Fuck off with your breeze.
Well, that was the most requested thing. Can you get Chelsea to
Well,
give
I've
us
done
a
it now.
rendition?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so
Absolutely
good.
sensational.
We get that a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do
We
you?
do, yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I make up my own songs a lot.
Here we are again.
Yeah, here we are again, Biggs.
Wow.
Couple of peas.
Besties.
Couple of peas in the pod, you and me. So one of the questions we had in was, Ash,
Yes.
how did you become so confident in your own skin?
thought you were going to say something else. How did you become a lesbian? I thought that's what you were going to say.
We are going to get onto that later.
We are going to get onto that later.
Yes.
Oh, okay. How did I become so confident in my own skin? I just stopped giving a shit. Like, I felt Chels helped me, like, so much, though, in regards to that, because you used to say, didn't you, if there was no one... Well, you started off saying about high heels. I used to moan about wearing high heels.
Yeah.
And she used to say, well, if no one was on the planet, would you wear high heels? And I was like...
Exactly.
Well, no. She's like,
No.
well, why are you wearing them then? Like, for other people to say they look nice,
Yeah.
to stop doing it. Like, why do you care what other people think?
Yeah.
So then I was like, actually, I need to roll that out across my whole life.
Life.
Like, why do I actually care what people think?
And
of
I
what
think
look like?
personally she
As
went
long
too
as-
far with that.
Yeah. Proper let it
Go
go.
around with her now.
She's let herself go, hasn't she, actually, over the last couple of years, Big? So that's
Too
what you
far.
say.
She's taken it to the extreme now.
Really, yeah.
Hey.
If she could rein it back
Beautiful.
in and start.
Fuck off.
Sorry, carry on. Monologue.
That's it now. I'm not going out. But no, that was it really. I just stopped caring what other people
Well,
would
I think one of the things that I have loved the most that you do on Instagram is that you sort of allow women to just try and accept their bodies as they are. And I don't think, I think there's some people that I watch and I think you make out you don't give a shit, but really you do. But with you, I watch you and I watch what you're saying and I'm like, you actually live
Yeah.
this. You actually breathe this stuff. You actually say, like, I remember watching a video of you saying, why have we started calling this a mum tum? It's not a mum tum, it's
Yeah.
just my tummy. You don't see men walking around going,
yeah.
oh, well, like my dad tum. And I think some of that language that we say about ourselves, and you also talked a lot about Ava, didn't you, about what she was hearing you
Yeah.
say.
So she would start like looking in the mirror and going like, oh, mum, like I need wanted to lose weight. And I was thinking, why would you say that? It's because she was hearing me say it.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to actually damage her if I carry on talking about myself. Like, why am I talking about myself like that? And also my friends would say things as well. And I'd be like, don't, like, you look beautiful. But then when the way you see yourself and the way other people see yourself is completely different. It's so different. So I tried to look at myself now through Chelsea's eyes and someone else to see how I actually look. And that just changed it for me.
Amazing.
Do you think as well that some of that stuff comes with age?
I think it comes. Yeah, I do think it comes with age, but also I just feel like we, like as a society, are made to feel a certain way as women about ourselves, and we should look a certain way. Whereas as you grow up, you do kind of stop caring as much. You just don't give a fuck. Like I just think I don't care what people think of me now. If you don't like it, don't look. But also I feel like we're judgy ourselves. Like I had to unlearn a lot of behaviour. Like I would see somebody in the street with like cycling shorts on and say they were my size in cycling shorts. I'd be like, this was years ago. I'd be like, oh my god, have you seen what she's wearing? Like, why would I say that? Because I'd hear other people saying it. And then now I'm like, well, I don't care what people think of me in cycling shorts. I don't care what someone else looks like. If they're happy, good
and
for them.
also
and it was almost probably jealousy, like that they could wear that. And
you felt
I
that
didn't
you
have the
couldn't.
confidence to do that. So
I just think you used to say as well, some people that usually project that on other women or whoever is because they're actually feeling quite bad
that's
about
what
themselves.
I'm saying. Like, I felt shit about myself, so I felt the need to kind of like
put others
calm
down.
somebody else down. Not like whether it's to their face or not. I'm still doing it in my head.
I think as well, I remember you saying that your camera phone on your pictures on your phone were full of you in filtered pictures, and that you started to like look at your face differently because unless it had a
100%.
filter on it, I mean that is like. It's so easy, isn't it, to get into that mindset of I can only post this picture if I've filtered the shit out of it and it looks what I want it to
when I
look.
first met Chels, when we used to have a photo together, unless she had like some kind of Snapchat filter on it, I wouldn't have it.
I'd
say I wouldn't take the photo, 'cause
But Chels would never have a photo with a filter on. So if like, once I put a filter on it, she'd be like, I look weird. But I'm like, but without it, I look weird. She was like, that's how you look. I'd be like, that's really rude. It was just my face. I was just so used to seeing myself with a filter. I forgot what I actually looked like.
Of course.
So,
But it was good that the point I suppose you're saying as well is that you're going to have no photos to look back on that are actually you.
Honestly, I would get them printed out, and then now I've got like about 2 years worth of photos of me and the kids, and every single photo has like a stupid fucking
Your cat, a
like,
dog, a bear.
like a little tongue, or like
Butterflies.
a crown, and like
Halos.
weird long eyelashes. Because at the time, everyone was doing it, and I thought that was like
what you
I
had
couldn't
to
take
do.
a photo without it.
Yeah.
Now I feel like a right dickhead. I can't even look. What am I going to do when I grow up?
I think part of it was my Tinder profile said if you have any filters on your photos, do not swipe on my photo.
I was like, delete.
All of her Tinder pictures, you had to change them all.
Yeah, you don't look
I met her, I was like,
I actually uploaded a photo of me looking like Uncle Fester.
you did, and that's what won me
There you
over.
go.
That's what did it.
That's what won.
Yeah.
And you've got the questions. I've got no questions, mate. So what's the next question? How tough is it being working parents? Because you both work and you both parent Ava and Oscar. And what is that like in your family dynamic? How difficult is that for you guys?
I think it's easier than a lot of people probably, purely because we've got a massive childcare system. Like our family are really, really good.
Amazing.
If we didn't have that, I think it would be a completely different ballgame.
I mean, I think we do still struggle with certain things in that obviously I've come in their life a bit later.
Sure.
And it's like Ash has full control, but she wants me to have some and I want to take some responsibility for them, and it's finding that balance. And we find
older,
it.
It's harder.
Yeah.
I think for you to come in as like as a step parent in a step parent role,
Yeah.
it is harder for you and for them. But yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah.
How long have you been together, you two?
3 years.
Okay, so it is still really quite a new.
But luckily I wish I would have known them when they were younger, but for Oscar we come in right at the right time. Like he looks at me, what they both do, they see me as their other parent, and it's not even as a step parent, it is, and they tell people they've got my other mum. Like
So amazing.
they don't call me mum to my face, which is rude.
Oscar went through a
but
stage
he
of it,
tried
didn't
to,
he?
didn't he?
Yeah.
But it was
They
up
call
to
you Biggie.
him. Yeah.
No one calls her Biggie. It's not a fucking thing, apart from you, and you've shortened it, so even you don't call her Biggie. Still, no one calls her Biggie. You've even know what? Biggie's
Fuck's
shit.
sakes.
I ain't using it. I agree with everyone else. Biggs.
Bigs. Notorious B-I-G-S.
It's interesting though, because you and Oscar do have a lovely relationship,
Yeah.
don't you? I mean, not that you and Ava. I just think Oscar's perhaps more present on your Instagram than Ava.
I think I met him at that age where he was. I was able to teach him things and show him things, and he started to copy me. And she was just a little bit older,
Yeah.
and she didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Did you ever think Instagramming would become your full-time job?
No, not in a million years.
I always thought for Ash. When I met her, she had a couple of videos from years ago that had gone viral on Facebook.
Right.
But it kind of just stopped there a few years ago. You didn't want to put any work into it. It was just
I
something.
literally just did it to talk shit.
Yeah.
And
But
I
when
just put
I
it on
met
my
her, I always
Facebook.
thought.
And I don't really care. I know
This
it's-
could be
I
something.
don't know. I don't know. This is if this sounds bad, but I literally don't care if people like my videos.
Yeah.
Like now
That's
I have to a
amazing.
little
I
bit
love
because I'm
that.
like I do a little bit need to now. Like, do you like it or not? Because I need to pay my bills. But ultimately, I don't care. Like I just feel like I make my videos because they make me laugh.
Yes.
And that's why I do it.
But
so
I
that's what
think
did on
that's why
Facebook
people
years ago.
love you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Honestly, I do, because I think you have this, like, you both
it's
have
genuine.
this attitude of, like, we find this funny. This is a
Yeah.
little bit like
Yeah.
Ange and I. Like,
Yeah.
it's stupid. If you don't find it funny, fuck off. If
Exactly.
you do,
Yeah.
stick
Yeah.
around. We'd love you to stick around and follow
Yeah.
us. But I think I think that's what people are looking for. I think gone are the days where people are like, they want everything to be
That's it.
perfect. You know?
And
Yeah.
you've had a couple of videos where you've been like, maybe people just don't find this funny, and you're like, but I do. She's like, but I do find it funny. I'm like, well, let's keep it there
But
because
even sometimes I'll make a video I find the funniest thing in the whole world, and I'll show her, and she'll fake laugh it, like awkwardly be like, and I go, that was not a real laugh. So I just don't find that one funny, which makes me find it funnier.
Yeah.
Because I'm
She's like, I'm pinning that
protective
one.
over my joke.
That's
like,
pinned.
and then I'll post it. No one else finds it funny, and I'm like, it's really unfortunate. Nobody appreciates my humour.
but I'm keeping it.
But I'm keeping it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
I
funny
find it funny.
anyway. Yeah.
It'll get like 5 views. I don't care. I'll watch
I
it
think
back.
as well that comes back to this thing like you were talking about earlier about how for like the younger generation, whether it's like our own children, whether it's other people's children, I think Instagram, social media has such a place where everything is supposed to look perfect
yeah.
and everyone is supposed to come on and only put the best videos on, and I think actually there needs to be more people like us that are going, do you know what, this is who I am, this is what I find entertaining, this is what I like to wear, I don't want to look like everyone else, I want to be, and I think it's really important
Definitely.
for our, this kind of
agreed.
our next generation to sort of have a far more kind of versatile, normal picture of what most people are like. And I think it's testament to you guys for continuing to do that and just putting yourself out there. I think it's
Definitely.
really good.
Yeah, no,
And-
I think the barriers have been knocked down a bit now. Instagram is not as toxic
As perfect
as it used to be.
I'd agree with that.
I think it's been knocked down a lot now.
The one thing that surprised me about it the most is that a lot, without going into it too deep, a lot of people put on social media what they want other people to see and what they want whoever they're attracted to see a version of themselves.
That is
Yeah.
really
So
interesting.
I think that a lot of, let's say, straight women, they are putting it up for a man to find her attractive.
Yes.
Now, when I work in a barbershop, so a very big male environment, and so many of them have come up to me and said, your missus is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she is funny. You've got a good one there. And I'm like, what, you find farting in that and shitting everywhere attractive? I only let her do that so you'd be repulsed. What do you mean?
This is back
Now they're all after
big
her.
time.
So do you know what I mean? If you do be yourself and you are authentic,
My DMs have never
they
been so
also
full of
find
men.
that attractive. But they find that attractive as long as you're being yourself.
Genuine.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
Ash, you're a pillow princess. No man wants that.
Exactly. In fact, some probably do.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. No. But no. I can't be arsed. It's too much
Please.
effort.
It is. Yeah.
Process.
We have a section in our podcast
Okay.
called What Gets On My Shitting Tits.
Okay.
And we are handing the reins over to Ash and Biggs.
Right, what gets on my shitting tits is Biggs and Biggie. It's not a fucking thing. We need to let it go,
rude.
Chels. It's fucking stupid. No one calls you it. Fuck, man.
Apart from Fat Joe, leave that.
And that's all that matters.
Okay.
Sean
Puffy Coons.
Okay, so
right,
what
so
gets
what
on
gets
your
on your
shitting
shitting
tits?
Right, I've got a list. I've got so many things, but I think ultimately my most annoying thing that really gets on my fucking nerves are peas. And hear me out. Peas are so shit, right? They're the shittest of all vegetables. And let me tell you why. I will tell you for why.
Tell me for why.
They put peas in everything as a fucking filler. And if you don't like peas, and you have to sit there and
siphon out the
sieve
peas.
them out.
Yeah.
If I order boiled rice, where on the menu does it say throw a pea in? I don't want a pea. If I order
Get me the menu. Get me the menu. Who's throwing peas around there?
order a chicken curry, peas in it. I
Fucking
didn't want a
peas.
chicken and pea curry. There's peas in everything. Peas
Uncle
are
Ben's,
shit. And then
Uncle
people
Ben's
say to me,
rice.
yeah, and when I
Lot
say
of
I don't
peas.
like
Yeah.
peas, and then people give me a variety, but have you tried the mushy? Yes, they're still shit. They taste the same. They're just now sloppy. Peas are just shit. Pea fritter, shit. Still taste the peas. Peas are shit. They're shit.
See,
and
now
hate
I
them.
am kind of
And
on
they're
board with
everywhere.
you on
I
some of
can
this,
hear
right?
that actually.
But I do love a pea.
Me too,
I
I
mean, what
love a
about a
pea.
pea? If you're going to have like
this
a
is
roast
what people
dinner,
do, Ange. They give her varieties. You're doing the exact same thing. And what people do is they give you varieties. You're going, hang on, have you tried?
I'm not giving a variety. I'm saying if you were going to have like a roast dinner,
She'd never have a
right?
pea.
Never.
Would you still? Would you just? Is it just peas?
In
full
general.
stop
I'm not going to
peas?
lie to you. When I go to the Toby Carvery,
Yeah.
and if I pick some cabbage up and someone's actually put
Popped
some
a pea
peas
in
and
it.
one's popped into that one,
You won't
I'll
have
get
it.
the ump if that's on my plate. Not like peas
Very
disgust me.
fussy.
I'm not repulsed by peas. They just piss me off.
Yeah.
Pissy
I
peas.
just feel like it's a fucking
Pissy
it's a
peas.
stupid vegetable. It doesn't need to be in everything. And stop
This is
sneaking
one
on
of
my
favourite
plate.
shitting
Yeah.
tits.
Yeah, just stop sneaking on my
Peas
plate.
in,
Like you
yeah.
weren't invited. Don't
Amazing.
like it.
Becky,
No.
have you got anything that gets on your shitting tits?
I don't know. I mean, this is it's like a 50-50 thing, and a lot of people will say that they agree and they actually do it. So that's
Okay.
quite annoying in itself.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if anyone does it here.
It's
I
fine.
don't want to be rude.
Bring it.
Anticipation.
I don't like it when people eat loud.
Yes,
no,
I am
that
with
is a
you, Biggs.
really good one.
That really.
That
I've got an
pisses me
actual
off.
thing called misophonia.
Yes,
so,
I've seen you post
yeah,
about this. Yeah.
and it's a few noises that really.
I am with you, mate. I cannot stand
It's
that.
a
Loud
few-
eaters.
And especially the one when
few
you're on public
noises.
transport.
It's not a few noises.
Sorry, this is my
It's
go.
all of the noises. I'm not even
like
allowed to
to-
breathe. Do you know what she had to go at me for?
Breathing.
No worse than breathing. You can control breathing, I've learned. You can make it loud or quiet. You can have some go. Do you know what she has to go at me for? And like genuinely fumed about?
Yeah.
I gulp too loud.
Ange would hate
You
that.
cannot.
That's fair enough.
Ange would hate that.
Yeah, but you
Fair enough,
cannot.
Ange would hate
You
that.
cannot silence a gulp.
No,
You
but
can. Your
Ange-
throat is
Ange-
purely its own
Honestly,
thing.
I'm not joking. These two, right, they are the same
Wow.
person. Because
so
Ange,
annoying.
you can be coughing your head off, right? Like going red, and Ange will go, you're really starting to annoy me now. Like deadpan. And I'm like, okay. She's like, no, seriously, Patty.
Can you go out of the room?
What? Or you
Please
do a yawn, and Ange goes, that was a really loud yawn. Fucking hell. Bearing in mind, we are sisters. We've got the same DNA. She's supposed to have my back in everything. I fucking yawn.
Yeah, I hear your pain.
And she's like, honestly, if you could step away from me while you yawn next time, it's getting a bit. You're really annoying me with your yawns, actually.
on it. You know what she said to me once? I do think
shit down.
she went, I do think she went to me that I do actually think you could train yourself though to gulp.
You
quieter.
can.
agree.
I've
I
taught.
And I was like,
I've taught people.
this sounds like a controlling relationship now. I am not sure that I want to partake in controlling my loud gulps. Yeah, any noise, anything.
Yeah, I'm totally with Biggs on
You
this. I'm afraid.
wear earplugs, don't
I've
you?
got, I
when you
bring
go
about
out.
4 pairs out every time I go in case I lose one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like everything? So anyone can be? Is it?
Do you know what? It's quite a mental thing. It's like
Yes.
if I can get it to stop, or if somebody can stop doing it, it's like, let's say Ash is here tapping the table.
Yeah.
It'd annoy me. But if that's rain on a roof outside, don't bother me.
Right.
It's really strange.
So it's like it's
So
it's about.
it's Ash just tapping the table.
It's basically Ash is going too loud. Ash is
But
going
if someone outside
Ash is
going,
breathing again.
She's like, I'm
fine.
loving
Me
this.
inside, I will get my fingers chopped off. Not allowed. Not allowed.
Okay, we also have a segment on our show which is called Dickish Behaviour, and we get our listeners to write in and sort of observe the world around them, tell us things that they find dickish. And we had a great one in from Karen on the gram.
Wow.
And she said, I think you're going to get on board with
this ties in nicely.
This is right up your Strasser. She says, humming, either sing or shut the fuck up.
Whoa.
So she is saying that people who hum are dickish.
Wow.
It is annoying,
That
isn't
does
it?
sound like a Karen-y thing to say.
It is quite Karen-based, isn't it?
I'm not shocked by that at all, Karen, if I'm
I actually
honest.
think.
Humming.
I mean, humming is annoying, but actually, I do get a bit annoyed with people who just keep singing as well.
Do you?
You do that.
Maybe we won't get on.
Jessie J, if
We
you
are
can hear
both the
this.
people that do that.
Adele, could you pack it in,
Yeah, can you
please?
stop singing, Adele?
Yeah.
Singing all the time. You
Oh yeah, all the
around, I
time.
love
They're
it.
waiting for you to say, "You sound really good." They're the ones waiting.
Yes.
Yes.
You did it this morning in the kitchen. And my mum was like,
You are really good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want a record
No,
deal?
I think I quite like humming.
I don't really
What
do
do you
it.
like hearing people
It's
hum?
like, I wouldn't if someone was humming like
No,
just
right.
to be annoying, like
Ash. Okay, yeah,
annoying.
so-
but if they're having a good time humming, like
No,
I'll be like, good for them.
No,
Yeah, but
either
hang on.
option.
It.
Hang
What
on.
have they done in the world?
I've never really
What
thought about
when
it.
people, because Margs will do our mum's call, we call her Margs.
Yeah.
She'll do an amalgamation of the two, right? So it's when she doesn't know
I
the
love
song.
that.
So she'll be like, and then with the that is annoying.
Also, Margs, and you are like Margs. You always do a little warble.
Warble, yeah.
So she'll go, just hear Margs wandering around the house. Pat's is like it as well. I love you. And I said to a and you're just like, oh,
No,
God.
it's the worst with Mum. Mum will be in the car and she'll be like, oh, I love this song, turn it up. Mama. You love it, do you? You love it so much. You, haven't
You
got
don't
one
know it.
single word right. We're nearly wrapped up now. You'll be pleased to hear. You're not going to spend much
guys.
longer
No,
with us.
I feel like I've been here 10 minutes.
But we always try to end our podcast with something slightly more serious. I know that's hard to
Okay.
believe. But we get a lot of questions actually from people who have wanted us to talk about LGBT stuff for a really long time. And we've wanted the right guests to explore that with. And I think, society is still so, what I would class as heteronormative, really, isn't it? You're assumed straight until you sit down with people and say, actually, I think I might be gay. And for me, I'm like, actually, I would love us to get to a stage. I think it is getting slightly better, but we're not there yet, where you don't have to come out, where it's just like, you go home and you're like, oh, I kissed this girl at school today. And whoever you live with goes, oh, cool, that's cool. What was that like? Or I went home and I kissed I went out and I kissed a boy tonight. And so obviously you've got very different stories in terms of your sexuality. So, Biggs, I'm actually going to start with you.
No,
Save the best till
we need
last,
to
I
stop
see.
that. I need to literally interject.
Sorry,
we can't have you
Chelsea.
both.
This is annoying for me actually because I really wanted to be my
catchy.
best friend.
It's catchy.
I really wanted to become best friends with Ash today.
Oh, you're pissing me
and
off.
I know that if I keep calling her bitch, I'm going to be booted out. So Chelsea, I'm
Leave
sorry.
her alone.
To become best friends with Ashley, I've got to call you Chelsea.
You may as well just full name me.
Full name you. Chelsea Ellen Nora Henrietta.
Yes.
There we
Goes
go.
on.
Full name.
Chelsea,
Yes.
when did you? What's been your kind of story around your sexuality?
I think it's weird. Growing up, it's like I had an older brother and an older sister, and all my friends, I hang around with a lot of girls, and they would always be around my brother's friends, and I'd be like, you don't do that. Why are you doing that in front of him? Stop showing off. I don't get it. And then my sister's friends would come around like, anyone want a cup of tea?
Really?
I can do 3 cartwheels in a row. Watch this. And when I look back, that's what I see it as. And as I was getting older and things, it wasn't really a thing. My mum had a lesbian best friend.
Picture you
3 cartwheels.
with your shit haircut when you were literally like 30, trying to cartwheel.
Did 3 cartwheels?
I can't cartwheel, by the way. So that would have been fun.
I think your friends really fit. Watch these 3 cartwheels.
and then I started to get older, and my mum had a lesbian friend,
Right.
and I thought that's the only thing that got me thinking, whoa, what, I don't understand her adult life.
Right.
I didn't really, nothing was too much on TV. I didn't really know 100%. What I did know is that I didn't want to be anywhere near a boy. I had a boyfriend and I didn't want to kiss him. I used to try and get out of school before him. So I didn't, and I was like, but why am I, he's a really good looking boy.
Yeah.
Why am I doing that?
Yeah.
And then we got to an age where sexual things were happening with all the people you were around, and we're doing things. And I just I was doing what they were doing. And they was like, it was amazing last night. I was like, oh, I feel sick. I feel physically sick, and I do not want to do this.
Wow.
So then I got to the age of 18, and I started, in those 2 years, I figured out that, okay, I really am starting to flirt with this girl. And
Annoying.
it was my best friend. And she just didn't want anything to do with me like that. But it was like my best friend. And then...
How dare she talk about your girlfriend
I'm
like
listening
that?
to this and I'm like, fucking cheat.
Yeah. And how dare her best friend not want to go with your girlfriend?
Yeah,
That's
I
out of
know.
order.
How
That is
dare
out of
she
order.
reject
How
her?
dare she do that
Yeah.
to her?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
What a prick.
Just give me my
And you.
moment, right?
Give. Sorry,
Chels,
go on. Quietly
So
fume.
I kissed this girl when I was 18, and the feeling I got, I thought it all just clicked, like what all these girls have been saying about the boys, and I was like, this is what it feels
I
like
get it.
to be attracted to somebody else. And it just went
bit
from
strong.
there.
Attracted. Do you mean you had a crush on?
Yeah.
At best.
Liked her hair or something, whatever.
So my 18th birthday, it was my 18th birthday, I invited everybody. I stayed in school till sixth form until I was about 18, and I came out on the microphone at my 18th birthday.
Oh my God. I'm
That's
giving that a round of applause.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I'll join you, 'cause no one else is.
That is so cool.
That is
God, I
amazing.
love
And
that.
everyone, I'm so lucky that everyone around me
Yeah.
was so supportive. Everybody in my family, they're quite strict Catholics, but they were all
Wow.
fine, yeah. And
That's
and,
it.
Here I am.
Your story's quite different, isn't
yes.
it, Ash? You were married, right?
Yeah.
To a guy.
To a man.
Yeah. So how long were you in a heterosexual relationship for?
So I'll give you short story long because it's interesting. So,
Very interesting. We could.
so basically, I was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, I've heard you
So
talk
I
about
didn't know. I didn't actually even know what gay people or lesbian people were.
Yeah.
Like my whole life was just straight people. That was it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. So then, even when I was in secondary school, nobody really came out at that age because it was like no one knew what that was. And if
No.
you come out, I'm guessing you would have got bullied the hell out
Yeah.
of. So none of my friends, anyone around me was gay or anything like that. So then I just got into a relationship who was my best friend. And he was really attractive. And
Yeah.
I've actually seen
fancy
him.
the
so-
handsome.
I know I'm lesbian, but I'm not blind. Sorry, carry on.
He's actually very good looking. He's good looking. Don't be mean. He's the father of my children, so our children.
Beautiful
so
man.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, we were best friends, and then I realised. I always kind of felt the same as Chels did. I didn't really want to be doing anything intimate. Because he was my best friend. I had that like affection for him, but it wasn't like romantic.
Yeah.
And then when we finally split up, I instantly started talking to a girl, which was like well out of my. I didn't know what was happening. I was just like, this is exciting. And then I got into a relationship with her. It lasted about 2 weeks, and then that was it. And then that was it. I solely dated women.
Really?
And then I dated a woman that was so horrible. I then actually was like, no, I'm going to actually date a man again. So I found a man that would take me on. And then I dated him for like a year and a half, and he was so lovely, like the nicest man in the world. Sorry. No,
I agree.
No, he was the loveliest man. And then that's what actually made me realise, no, even though you're so lovely and you treat me so nice and you're so great with the kids, I still am not into men. And that was it. We broke up, and then that was it. I just dated women ever since. And that was
And
that.
so would you, I mean, I'm not really big into labels, but would you say that you're bisexual or not?
I'm definitely a lesbian.
Yeah, so you would say that you're
Because
solely into women.
It took me a while to come to that,
to
but
that.
definitely.
And do you think
not-
you started maybe on like a maybe I'm bisexual kind of narrative?
Yeah, I think I was at first. I think I
think
did
we
go
all
a bit
do.
for a bit. Like I
Yeah.
was bi. I thought for a while I was bi, but
Yeah.
because it was so hard. Because I find men good looking. Like I'm like, oh my god, what a good looking
Yeah.
man! Like he's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
attractive. But when it come down to actually like kissing them or having
Yeah.
sex, I'd be like, absolutely
Can't do
not
it.
into that at all. So I feel like I actually just maybe liked the attention
Yes.
from men,
Wow, yeah,
but I
interesting.
didn't actually want
Want
to
to
go
do
anything
anything
else. Yeah, and then when I
Yeah.
would speak, like you said about your friends, when I'd speak to my friends and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, it was the best night," I'd be like, "Oh no, like,
Yeah.
really?"
Yeah.
It just weren't for me.
I mean, you
but-
don't even have a sausage on your fried breakfast because you want
No.
nothing phallic near you. You said that on your story.
Ain't for me.
He said,
Don't like it.
nobody bring me sausage. I want
No.
nothing phallic anywhere
But I
near
think
me."
maybe for you it's different is because I had a lot of dick in my life for a period of
I
time.
had a lot of dick in my mouth, but I don't worry about it. I'm gonna bring it up.
Biggs has come with that
And do you know what? That's another thing I'll just throw in there. I used to give blowjobs all the time instead of having sex with
Yeah.
men because
Yeah,
I
it's
felt like
interesting,
that
isn't
was
it?
way
Yeah.
So when I was in straight relationships, I would rather
rather
suck
do
their
that
dick than.
And
I'm so sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this.
What was it like when you became a couple? Like, what was it like with your family? I mean, obviously
so-
your family had time to come to terms with
Yeah.
it, but come to terms with it, that was an awful thing to say. Your family had accepted it and realised that you were gay.
Yeah.
What was it like for your family?
Well, I only really had my mum, and she's like strict Jehovah's Witness.
Right.
So for when I first came out, like when I first split up with my husband, she was like absolutely lost her shit. Like
Really?
yeah, it was really bad.
Oh, God.
Really, really bad. And I was like, you're being a bit dramatic, but she did come round as I had a girl, like my new girlfriend in the house.
Right.
My mum just knew, and then she lost her shit. And then after a period of time and us kind of having a conversation, I explained it to her in a way that she kind of got, didn't she? And I was like, I don't believe in what you believe in your religion. Like your religion is not for me. However,
Yeah.
I respect your
Yes.
religion.
Amazing.
So you don't have to, because she was like, I don't understand. I was like, I don't understand your religion, but I respect
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You don't have to understand that
Me.
why I'm a lesbian,
Yeah.
but you have to respect it
Yeah.
because it's my life.
Yeah.
And then she sat back and was like, okay. And then she got that. So, but she did say she wouldn't come to our wedding and things like that because it's against her religion, and that's fine. That's her choice.
Yeah.
So I can't.
But
she's so. Oh my god, her and
we're like
Chels got
best
like a house on
friends.
fire.
Well,
that's
she
so
looks
great.
after Oscar and Ava.
Yeah.
She's on your stories quite
my
a bit.
God,
she's
she's
in
the
your
best,
house.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
so-
saw some of your stories actually. I mean, these are a few that I have seen.
Wow,
Oh,
she's
right.
watched some, guys. She's watched some. Massively fat. That's
Done your
fangirling
research.
for Ange. That is. She's watched your stories.
I
and
watched
she-
5.
She actually loves you.
But I did see some with your mum.
Yeah.
Where you were both trying
Trying on
on
clothes.
probably in
Oh
style.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's so
in the
lovely.
style.
Yeah, and honestly, I loved your relationship with her. Like, she'd put something on, you'd be like, oh my gosh, doesn't she look amazing?
Yeah.
And
So cute.
honestly, it was such a really lovely thing to watch. But I think, like what you said earlier, Pat, about, maybe we're getting to a place where we don't have to come out. And I don't know what you find with your children, but I'm definitely finding with mine that it is different for their generation. Like, it is now quite normal.
Yeah.
My daughter will come home and say, oh yeah, one of my friends is gay, or someone else is
Yeah.
trans,
I
or whatever
feel
it might
like
be.
because sorry to interrupt. I
No,
felt
fine.
like with Ava we had a bit of a weird situation in the sense that I think her and her generation now are trying to fit into a box.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't.
interesting.
So rather than like, obviously we grew up like everyone was straight.
Yes.
To say you were gay was like whoa.
Yeah.
Whereas for them now it's almost like, well, what are you? And
Yes.
she's like, oh, my
Oh.
friend's non-binary, or my friend's gay, my friend's a lesbian, and it's like, oh, like Oscar said the
It's
other day,
all
I've only got
accepted, but you have to get in a box.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
Oscar said the
Wow,
other
that's
day,
really
I've got a friend in my class. There's only one boy in my class is straight. Everybody else is like bi, and it's almost like they're trying now to
Wow.
fit
To
go
and
to
it's
the
like-
other
And I
extreme
try and
almost.
explain
Yeah.
to them,
Yeah.
you don't have to
No.
fit into
Any
any box.
No.
You can
Yeah.
just be you. You don't have to label yourself. And the kids were said to me, "But you're a lesbian." I'm like, "Yes, because I'm 33,
Yeah.
and I've now realised that that's the box
That's
that
where
I
I
fit
fit.
into."
Yeah.
However, and I explained this to Chels, much to her disgust, that I said, like, but I feel personally that I think sexuality is
No, but
completely
I'm the same.
fluid.
Fluid.
And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
in 20 years' time, I might not feel how I feel right now. I probably
No,
will.
but I feel that with gender as well as
Yeah.
sexuality.
Yeah, and I've said this to the kids. I've said, like, you can. It is
It does
changeable
change.
all the
Yeah.
time, and you
Yeah.
don't have to fit into a box to fit other people's expectations and views of you. You can just
Yeah.
do you.
Yeah.
So that's been a thing,
And they
with the
know
kid-
that as
yeah.
well. Like what Ash has just missed out a little bit there is that the way she brought up the kids before anyone knew that she was gay or anything, she always brought them up to know that that's okay.
Yes.
So that when she got into a relationship with a woman, they didn't even know the difference.
Yeah.
They didn't think,
Yeah,
oh
never
wow,
were.
I'm going to be
No.
embarrassed. And
Yeah.
they come home like, I think I fancy this girl, or I think I fancy this boy. So
Yeah.
it's not even a thing of coming out either. They know that that's not a thing
In
either.
fact, Ava got to a point once she said to me, she's like, but Mum, I wouldn't know if I was straight, how would I tell you? And I was like,
would you be
Don't.
upset?
Disgusting. No, I was like, I would accept you, but no, I was like, yeah, that's not. I was like, then I was like, oh my God, like it really has flipped.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, how would I tell you?
If I'm actually straight. Yeah.
And the good thing as well about Oscar, he in his class, he's got somebody else that's got same-sex parents. So
Right.
it's so normal.
It's becoming.
I
think
think
I just think that's amazing that it is. I think, like you said, there's probably a little bit of a, like they're trying to fit into lots of boxes
Yeah.
now and decide which one they have to be in. But I think again that will just, that
I think
will
it's a
just
good
come
thing in a
Oh,
way that
totally.
it's being spoken about.
Yes,
And yeah,
but it is. That's just normal for them
Yeah.
growing up. That's what their normal is. Whereas for our generation, it never was that.
No.
and
Yeah.
and I
That's
think
it.
it's amazing that it is like that for them now.
What would you say to anybody listening to this who is kind of exploring their sexuality, perhaps in a situation that you were in, Ash, concerned about their family or their friends' responses, or maybe in a similar situation to you, Chelsea, that definitely knows what their sexuality is but hasn't been able to talk about it? Like, what would your advice be? Because I think that's one of the things that Ange and I can't do. We have never had that experience, and I want people to be able to think about, what would your advice be if somebody's in
find
that
yourself
situation?
I don't really know. Go on.
I would think, if there's no one around you to speak to, maybe speak to somebody that's not that in your circle and speak
Yeah.
hypothetically,
Yeah,
or
nice.
speak as if it was somebody else
Yeah.
Yes.
situation,
Yeah.
or and then see
Gauge
how
it,
comfortable
gauge
that
it,
is and how they take it,
Yeah.
and then maybe talk to them if that's what you're looking for, to talk about it.
Yeah.
Or there's so much online that you
There
can
is.
do. There's
Yeah.
so much.
Stonewall
I have
is
never-
obviously a brilliant charity,
Yeah.
isn't it? Stonewall are
Yeah.
great for people who are exploring sexuality.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't really know because
We've
think
never
it's
had
hard.
to.
It's so hard to give advice on something that everyone's situation is so
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Like I obviously personally just literally did it, and I didn't really give a fuck if people accepted me or
Yeah,
not, because
wow.
that's how I am. But
Yeah.
obviously, lots of people are not in a safe
No,
space.
yeah.
They
That's
can't do
what I
that.
said to Ash
So yeah,
before.
like
Yeah.
they can't just go, all right, well, I'm just going to
This
be
is who I am
authentic.
now.
Yeah.
This is- yeah.
Yeah.
They
Just
might
be
be
you,
in, like
but-
they might put themselves in danger. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but
It is quite hard to
I
still.
think your idea is lovely,
is
Chelsea,
very hard.
gauging it, like speaking hypothetically,
Yeah.
gauging somebody's response. And I suppose, it's about just finding one safe person, isn't it? To start off with,
That's
it's about,
it.
I had friends come out with me, two of my best friends at school, and, they both were lovely and said, we felt like you were a safe person to tell. And I think
Yeah, love
if
that.
you can explore one person that you think, actually,
And
I
even
think
saying
I
it
could
out loud.
Yeah, just like saying it, maybe in the mirror, like,
Yeah.
looking at yourself in the mirror. What a great episode.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, guys.
We're going to give
Thanks for having
you
us.
all the Instagram handles, so you can find Chelsea at Biggie Barber, of course. At Biggie
you.
Barber.
Thanks.
You can find both Ash and Chels at Ash and Chels Life Stories. You can find Finding the Funny on Instagram. Just search Finding the Funny. You can find both Ange and I'm at Ruth Corden.
And I'm at Ange Corden. And you can also find us on Facebook. Just search Finding the Funny Podcast.
But we'll be back next week helping you to find more of the funny.